Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Past Self by Sleep Token from their album Even in Arcadia. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. Now, what I found interesting about this song, and you begin to see this kind of unfold even in the songs ahead, and it took me off guard, is that Vessel seems to be really breaking the fourth wall and speaking directly to events tied to kind of their rise in fame, to the fandom, to those who maybe were on board with their old stuff but are not so on board with their new stuff. Even the idea of like his songwriting and the story that he's telling within it, that people have disconnected that from his actual real life. The story, the themes, the things like that he's been sharing are directly tied to true events, that he's walked through. And it's interesting to hear him kind of speak about those things. I did find it interesting. One thing that I didn't really notice in a first listen through, which I'm a little bit ashamed about because I am a Zelda fan, I didn't notice that it's a direct call to the fairy theme, the fountain, the fairy fountains through Zelda. Check this out. Okay, let's go here real quick. I'm only going to use a short clip so that the video doesn't get copyright. Let's do it here. So this, I'll throw my headphones on. This is the beginning of Past Self, and this sound is carried all throughout. Okay, now this is the fairy fountain theme from The Legend of Zelda. Now, obviously, they're a little bit different. Even slowed down a little bit. But, I've heard of Vessel's love for games. I've seen some things tied. We even get kind of an Alien reference, which is, I know it's not a game, it's a movie. But he weaves these things in throughout some songs. And I think there is a tie to this idea of, even in the beginning of the song, him saying, it's not a game or a fantasy. Like, sure, some of the elements of the storytelling are fantastical, but this is also his real life, the traumas and difficulties he's walked through that he's expressing through this art. And I just find all of that really interesting. But let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the lyrics together. All right. I do feel like this is a question to the fans. This idea of, are you going to dance on the line with me? And maybe the line is kind of that edge, the line between, I don't know, maybe it's just an invitation to go with him as an artist. That if you kind of have a line, it's separating two sides. Maybe it's the past stuff they've created, also where they want to go in the future. Even maybe they might dip back in and do another album that's similar to the earlier stuff. They may just keep evolving and exploring things like what they did Even in Arcadia. But I feel like that's probably the question to the fandom. Like, are you going to dance on the line with me? Like, are you going to be here with me, just kind of enjoying this? And then him saying, it's not a game or a fantasy. I don't even know who I used to be. But nothing is the same, and some things have to change now. Maybe that's an appeal to, like, obviously we have emergence, kind of this emergence of a new self, a growth. It could even be from a musical style. Maybe he was expressing some of the difficulties he was walking through in a very specific way, and maybe he doesn't really want to stay in that place. Maybe he wants to move on to something a little bit brighter. Maybe he doesn't want to really drive that story so much. Whatever it might be, I think he's just saying, like, things are different. And I'm kind of on this line that I'm dancing. Are you going to dance with me? All I do know is that some things have to change. And then his invitation. So are you going to dance on the line with me? Clawed out of my woodwork, bolts out of my blue depths. This I'm not really sure. Bolts out of my blue depths. Because I want to read it as like bolt out of my blue depths, like charge, run, escape from these blue depths. And I was trying to figure out if there was any tie to woodwork with even the first album. You know, if he was referencing clawed out of my woodwork. And that could be like sundowning, could be the woodwork, you know, the beginning of this career. And then bolting out of my blue depths is the this place will become your tomb, like going out of that album. I'm not really sure. In and out of my dreamscapes, and people are acting different. One, look at my past self. So he does this one take of his past self, but then he's also doing this double take on his cash flow, which is interesting. It's like it kind of takes a look at his past self, doesn't seem to give it a whole lot of thought, but then the popularity, the cash flow, he does this double take, like a surprise by it. Apologizing for stuff that frankly I stopped thinking of years ago. I was trying to figure out if this is him, like he's apologizing for stuff that he stopped thinking about years ago, or there are others coming and apologizing for stuff that he's just let go, he's forgot about. Let me know your thoughts. And you know, I deliberate on cutting out the demons. I still need a dark side. They just need a reason. I'm assuming that idea of them needing a reason is maybe a difficulty, a trauma, a whatever, like they just need some reason to latch on to him. He's still feeling this need for a dark side, and he's just wondering, you know, it is, I think sometimes that difficulty that a lot of his music and his fame came out of the depths of like the depths of despair. And the wondering of like, well, if I don't have that thing, you see this in a lot of artists, right? That they feel the need to almost self-sabotage so that they have content to write about. They need broken relationships because writing about broken relationships is what got them popularity or gave them fuel for writing. And that can be a very destructive cycle. And so I think there's some question maybe within there on that. The passage of the hours into rushing through the seasons, falling through my mind with the leaves on the trees. I think this idea of like, as the passing of seasons, he's falling through his mind, these hours into rushing through the seasons. Maybe it's this idea of like things are moving very quickly. Keep me alive, keep me believing that now is the time to take it or leave it. Give away all my blessings, lift off, weightless, torn apart by the true believers that turned out to be faithless. I'm wondering if this is the question, this idea to the fans, like stay with me, keep me alive, keep me believing that we can do this thing, that now is this time to take it or leave it, like to keep moving forward or just forget what we've done. Lifting off, weightless, torn apart by the true believers that turned out to be faithless. Again, I think this is a call to fans, people that are like, oh my gosh, Sleep Token, true believers. And then as they progress and do things differently, it turns out people are like, oh, screw those guys. You know, they turn out to be faithless in the end. And then we have a repeated chorus here. Are you the guardian angel hacking into my brain cells, stepping up for my future, uploading my true self? So I think this is the idea of him really feeling like he's emerging, he's doing something new. His true self is coming into picture. He's stepping up for his future. Or maybe we are this guardian angel, and are we stepping up for his future as he is uploading his true self? Did I get this far for nothing, or are you the reward? Again, that question of like, is this it? Like, we've achieved this success and now we've got all this hate and turmoil. guarding hounds in this hell house, opening new doors. And maybe that's a nod to those who are there with him, right? Because the question is, are you the guardian angel? And if we, the people who are really loving them, loving their music, kind of with them, as they progress and as they evolve, are we the guarding hounds in this hell house he feels like he's in? And we're there helping him open new doors and keep exploring. And if this is love, then I'm out of hesitation, head over heels or elevation, walking an inch above the pavement, taking it stride by stride together. This seems a bit hopeful, right? Walking an inch above the pavement, kind of like this idea of floating. And his plea, like, I don't want to be lost again, man. I don't want to go back into that place. And if this is real, then I'm all up in a frenzy, not like before when I was empty. Say that the story we tell is never ending. It did when I was listening through this. I'm like, oh, is there a new love in his life? And maybe it's just because the switch into this section of talking about the fans, the people that ride with him. He's saying, man, maybe this can be this story that's never ending, and we'll take it side by side together. The repeated chorus with also these add-ins. I just don't want to be the one who's left behind in the end when it's already over. And that repeats over and over as he sings these lines. And this, I just don't want to be lost again. Man, that line, I don't want to be the one who's left behind in the end when it's already over, is just like, is this for nothing? It's heartbreaking, but I'm here. I think I'm ride or die with Sleep Token. I'm enjoying everything that they're doing and look forward to what they do in the future. Let me know your thoughts on this song in the comments. If there's anything you saw that I missed or you want to offer a different opinion, would love to talk about it. But thanks for being with me for this one. Hope to see you in the next one, because reading good.